Hey, everybody, guess what? We're live. It's Friday. It's still snowing in case you haven't looked outside. Well, it's a snowy day. The snow finally stopped, but we've got Scott Hamilton here. I'm so excited to talk about big event happening in Nashville right now, besides the snow.
Well, I mean, it's snow and it's ice.
Yeah.
And, I like ice indoors. I don't like ice outdoors. So we've got a lot of ice indoors down at Bridgestone Arena for the big championships this weekend. And I've been watching. Today will be my first day to go down there. So I'm really excited to see everything and see how these skaters do. The ladies championship is tonight, which is very exciting. We'll crown a brand new. Well, there's two women in the top three that have won it before, but the woman that's winning right now, Mariah Bell, this could be her first national title. So it's very, very exciting. They
Wow.
worked hard for this, and so it's good to see these skaters skating at the top of their game when they really want it to be at the top of their game the most. Olympic year,
Right.
and the nationals preceding it, so it's very, very exciting.
You played a big role in bringing this event to Nashville. It was here in 97, right after Bridgestone Arena opened.
Hmm.
Um, What was that like to get it back to Nashville? We've had big events here this year, the Music City Grand Prix, and now this. This is a really big event for Nashville.
Well, I mean, the National Sports Council is really good at what they do. Sean Henry and his team are really good at what they do with big events in the Bridgestone Arena and everything else. And excuse me, it just felt like a excuse me, it just felt like a natural extension of everything else that's going on, is to have the U.S. Figure Skating Championships and the 25th anniversary of Bridgestone Arena, first major event ever held in Bridgestone Arena. Um, to have it again and then choose the Olympic team going to Beijing. So there's a lot that sort of lined up that made it all happen. And I just tried to stay out of the way more than push it. It was funny because it was like a spark. I sort of ignited a little spark, and then this fire started, and I was like, okay, I'm the only thing I can do right now is mess this thing up. So I'm just gonna sit back here and twiddle my thumbs and just let the momentum take it all the way to the finish line. And I feel bad that we're holding this event, kind of at the end of, hopefully at the end of COVID, and if it were a year later, just think of what it would be. But
Right.
it's really great. The atmosphere is phenomenal. The events are exciting. And again, who puts on a bigger, better, more fun event than Nashville?
Right. Yeah, you mentioned it is a big event. So for people who've never been, I actually attended the one in 97. And so tell people what they can experience because this is different. This is different
Well,
that I think that probably things that people have been to before.
yeah, it's if you haven't seen skating live, and a lot of people see it on TV and they go, "Oh, that's really nice. I it's exciting and it's fun." To be
Yeah.
in the building when it's all coming down is really it's like it's breathtaking how fun it is to see. And these skaters, they're basically, they got knives strapped to their feet, and they're trying to navigate a gauntlet, which is, from beginning to end of their program, and all the things that they have to do in order to get the score they want. It is really exciting to be in the room when that's happening, and to kind of, and then when you watch the Olympics, you can say, hey, I was there. I was when they did that, and when I saw this, and now I understand the sport maybe a little bit better, and just to see it happening unfold right in front of you is really it's different than a lot different than watching it on TV. It's really
Yes.
fun.
Yes, and that's what I think was so interesting to me because you see so many behind the scene things you never get to see on TV. So it's a whole totally different experience. And then hearing that those skates hit the ice, you can hear that more when you're
Oh yeah,
sitting
you
10
can
feet in
you
front
can
of them.
you can hear it, you can see it, and a three-dimensional experience of figure skating is way different than the two-dimensional on TV. I mean, you see the speed, you see the explosiveness, you see, you can see the rotation in these jumps, and just how extraordinary it is that they're able to launch, spin, stop the rotation, and land cleanly on one foot going backwards like nothing hard happened. It's basically a sport of making something impossible to look simple, right?
Right.
If you can
Right.
make something impossible look simple, you're and do it on a consistent level, you might win. You
Yeah.
might, because there's other people doing it too.
So there's tickets available this weekend. The snow should be passable if you want to get out. Everybody's probably looking to get out on Saturday and Sunday. Come down. This would be a
Well,
great
the
event
weather
to
is
take
going
a
to
family.
cooperate. I think now we've had our big, kind of, and now it's freezing, and then I think it gets warm again tomorrow. So yeah, and I would hope the main roads are, pretty passable and getting in and out of downtown. If you're coming in on 65 or 40 or 24 or whatever, I would hope by now those roads would be pretty solid. So yeah, by the weekend with the melt and everything else, I think it's going to be really fun and exciting. And on Sunday, Nathan Chen goes for his national title, and to see him live is going to be one of those kind of things. Is like I was in the room when he won his nationals before he went to the Olympics to win his Olympic gold medal. To have that experience is really unique. And it's funny because we went, my family and I went to Idaho for vacation last summer, and they do ice shows at Sun Valley every weekend. And we just happened to be there on the weekend that Nathan Chen was performing there.
Oh,
And
wow.
my kids, like, I was a skater my whole life, and I was pretty much done by the time they came into the world. So they don't really know, like, dad being a skater is not really like, they know it, but they never really experienced it. They watch Nathan and they're like, Dad, he's so good. Yes, he is so good. And so even for kids that play soccer or hockey, or they do all the team sports, to see an individual like Nathan take the ice, and you got Jason Brown and Vincent Joe, and that's pretty much going to be the Olympic team. But to watch them perform live, again, live is truly amazing. And then the ladies are tonight, and then the ice dance final is tomorrow, and that is a really captivating event. It's just great rivalries between the top two teams, Hubble and Donahue, and Chalk and Bates, and there's 3 Olympic berths open, so that third spot's going to be hotly contested, and it's just really fun because it's sports and it's drama, and
Right.
I always joke that I'm not pretty enough to be a skater anymore, and when you see these skaters and how beautiful they are, and how extraordinary the things that they can do, and how over the top it is. And then you understand this is an Olympic year, and these skaters are going to be representing the United States. I mean, there's so many factors to it. I just pinched myself thinking, wow, I did that, and that was really fun, and it was great for an audience. Man, it's so much fun for an audience.
Yeah, I want to touch on real quick. You mentioned juniors and kids learning a new sport. You have your own skating school in town, and juniors competed recently. We're going to talk to local juniors a little bit later today,
Oh,
but tell me
good.
what that was like to see some of your juniors place during this
Uh,
competition.
It was so fun. I mean, it's we've got 3 members of the skating club competing at the nationals, and Antonio did really well, and then the Peels. I thought the Peels were extraordinary. So you got a dance team and a young man, and then we've got all these kids coming up behind them that are really showing promise to be competitive on the national scene. So we're really excited. We've got a great coaching staff. We've got from very first steps all the way through the competitive, and all the different tracks, whether kids want to do a test track, and just get past all their tests, or if they want to go into synchronized skating or theater and ice, or if they want to compete on a high level in our high performance group. I mean, it's all there now, and it took us a while to get there, but it's really fun to be able to work with the Predators in such a high quality organization, and see their dedication to really growing the sport of hockey locally. But when you invite me in, you might just get a lot of figure skating attached to it. But anybody that comes into our Learn to Skate, we're going to teach them how to skate. They're going to be proficient, safe, and they're going to love skating. And whatever they want to do with it is up to them. But I've always kind of dealt with everything with an open hand, not a clenched fist. So if somebody wants to get on the ice and skate, it's their journey. I remember being that first day at Learn to Skate in Bowling Green, Ohio, and I never would have thought to dream the stuff that I got to experience. So, it all starts with those first steps, and then from there, who knows what's going to happen. And it's really fun to, again, see the enthusiasm and the quality that we're able to provide our skaters. So,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter if they're 3 or 93, we've got something there for all of our peeps.
I love it. The Peels, yes, we'll be talking to them a little bit later today. They
Ah,
placed
lovely, amazing. I mean, it's hard to believe when you see them and you speak with them and everything else that A, Eliana is her age, and B, it's just Ethan is just he's such a humble, well-spoken young man. I mean, they're just a really great couple, and they're coached by their dad. I mean,
Yeah, I
that's
know.
talk about 24/7. It's like yikes. But it's a great joy having him here. It's an honor to be able to be part of their journey, and they work really hard, and they're very, very talented.
So we're juniors, help everybody understand juniors could possibly move up or will move up, right, to compete.
It's a natural progression. Like you don't go from like Learn to Skate to championship, whatever. There's this progression that goes, and for me, when I skated, it was compulsory figures. So I had to trace the eights and then test. Then you get to a certain level, and you got to do a free skating test along with the figure test. And then there's ice dance patterns and tests, and there's moves in the field, and there's all these different tests you have to take to advance. But it's all meant to be skill progression and experience progression. Like I won 4. I'm not saying this to be braggadocious or anything or proud or anything. I won 4 senior titles in a row, and that was after I basically came in last 2 novice nationals in a row. So
Wow.
it's a journey. It's a journey, and you don't know where it's going to take you, or when things are going to like kick in, or when they're going to gel, or when they're going to become when you have a chance to step into the light. You just don't know, but that's why you show up every day, and that's why you focus on improving, and where are my weaknesses and how do I shore those up, and how do I put myself in a position to be victorious. And it's a big process, and it takes a long time. So on the national level, when I competed, it was a novice was the lowest level that made it to nationals, and then it went to junior and then senior. And so yeah, doing well on a junior level kind of sets you up. It kind of puts a spotlight on you going into the senior level, because there's a lot of momentum that goes with winning a junior title. A lot of people have done it, like Nathan Chen, and Todd Eldridge was junior champion. Terry Kubica, a lot of these guys from the history of the sport, they come through and they win juniors, and it sort of like launches them into the senior level. I went at nationals, ninth and novice, and then 7th at junior. I beat 2 guys.
Oh, wow.
Yippee! I finally beat 2 guys instead of coming in last. And then the next year, something happened, and I won the junior championship. And it was kind of like, okay, that came out of nowhere. What's this about? And that allowed me to continue skating, because my parents had run out of money, and a coach saw promise in me, and he had a sponsor in his hip pocket. And so that junior title allowed me to continue to skate. And I can't imagine if that junior championship would have gone differently, how my life would have gone, or where I'd be right now.
Wow. You just never know, right?
You
But
never
here you
know.
are. And we're
Hmm?
so excited. It's here in Nashville. I know if you guys are looking, like I said, to get out, go outside, go somewhere, see something, it's right here in Nashville. We don't get this opportunity very often, right? 25 years later, it's come back.
Again, in the next 100 years, we may get it 3 more times. No, I think this one is going to turn a lot of heads. And I think I think U.S. figure skating understands Nashville as a city that offers endless hospitality and is centrally located, and really is ideal for a championships like this. So I would imagine this is, the first of many more, but we got to get through this one first. So Ticket sales are really important to the skaters, figure skating, as far as how they dole out their bid cities. So I'm really hoping that we can really fill the house over the weekend and really show U.S. figure skating in the world what an incredible sports town Nashville is, and let's send these athletes off with a lot of momentum to the Olympic Games.
Yes, yes, because the next stop is the Olympics. What's the update? Are you going to the Olympics? What's the status of that right now?
No, it's sort of like COVID, kind of started in China, so I think they're being hyper aware of, just sort of a lot of people coming into China. So NBC, I don't know what they've announced yet, but people are going to be doing a lot of work out of the United States. And there's going to be very limited. I know that figure skating, their team is going over to be in the building in Beijing, and then I think freestyle skiing, but I don't know if what's been announced yet. But it's going to be limited, so I'll be working the Olympics, yay, out of the United
Good.
States. So that'll be really
Okay.
good, and maybe right here in Nashville, who knows? So
Hey.
there's a lot of decisions. They're just like spinning plates and trying to figure out how to make it all work right now. But they know that going to China en masse isn't going to work, just with all of the restrictions and all of the other things that are being like imposed right now. So yeah, so I'm excited. I get to do the Olympics again. This is a record. I finally either beat or tied Dick Button for the most Olympics ever broadcast. So I'm excited.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Well, that'd be interesting. So you'll probably be up in the middle of the night doing
You,
broadcasting, right? Because the
if
time
it's
change.
anything like Pyeongchang, they would do the events. Like I would do my pregame show there at 8:30 in the morning,
Oh, okay.
their time, and then
Okay.
the event started at 9 a.m. their time, which was
Okay.
prime time our time. So I'm going to be working probably, I'd say Nashville time. I'd probably be working from 7 until midnight, pretty much every day during the Olympics.
Okay.
So
That's
yeah,
not
so
as bad as I
I'll be
thought.
prime time. Yeah, I'm prime time, right? I'm all about prime time. So yeah, it'll be in that block, and I probably back in my role as doing the pregame show, being kind of the Tony Dungy of figure skating now, and then probably doing something post show, and then supporting the Today Show and a lot of their other entities like I usually do. So it'll be fun. And I got to set up we'll see, how we set things up. But if I'm out of Nashville, I'll probably be working out of my home. So I have to set up a studio somewhere in my house. So um, figure that out too.
There you go. That'll be fun. Hey, thanks for joining us this morning. I love always great to chat with
Oh,
you and
it's
talk
great to see
about that.
you. And
And
please change your background to something tropical, please. I mean, I think we've had enough of the snow while we've been here the
I
last
feel like
couple
this is
days.
appropriate the last couple of days. A
It
little
is, it
snow, a
is,
little
but it's
snow.
just like I've had a chill going up and down my back the whole time every time I look at
As you
you.
see
So
the zigzag, the kids sliding by me. Oh man. Thanks again, Scott. And then you guys please stick around. We're going to talk to the Peels in just about an hour, and we will check in with them and talk to them about their experience competing here in Nashville. So we can't wait to hear about that.
yeah, so everybody, please get out to Bridgestone Arena. I'm telling you, it's a great experience. And how often do you get to see an Olympic team being presented in your hometown? It's pretty awesome.
Exactly. So much fun.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks again. Bye, everybody.